Hey guys, what's the difference between a guitarist and an elevator?
What?
An elevator can raise a child.
I am so goddamn poor, nothing gets me up anymore. I am so old and jaded, overblown and overrated. So give me all your stuff, give me all your stuff. Everything is never enough. Give me all your stuff, give me all your stuff. Give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. I want your stuff.
That's fucked up.
Okay, I'm done. I'm out.
Oh, good times. Welcome to the Pedalboard podcast, the podcast where us jaded gear junkies just scrounge around searching for our next fix. I have on the show today our hosts with the mosts, our gentle tone friends. I have below me the amazing tone wizard from Portland, who resides currently in Portland, Oregon. Yeah, there it is, Mr. Brandon Schock of Shock Rock Effects. And up here with me, I got this hunky, choicey, just olive-skinned, dapper dude. Yeah, look at him. He's moist. You know what I mean? He's moisture. He's moisture rich, everybody. Vince DeJoya from Vagabond Audio. And me, who requires no introduction. If you don't know who I am, well, get the internet. Today we have a very couple cool new segments, or at least one new segment, maybe just a short bit. We also have a very cool subject that I feel a lot of guitarists are really going to be in on, is that we are going to talk about the fact that our pedal boards are in constant flux. They're never the same. In fact, I had commitment issues about getting a pedal board, which I actually had Vince build for me, because I just was like, well, there's always going to be switch outs, and he's recommended a section for it. So it works out. I got a section and I can switch out, and then some of it just remains the same. And Brandon, I have seen Brandon's constant crazy. He's got piles of pedal boards. He's the only dude I know that's got more pedal boards than me. Like, dude, Vince is close. Vince is real close, and Vince
far behind.
I would say
Yeah,
Vince
but
is
Vince has a business for it.
true, but Vince's pedal boards are also grander than mine or yours. They are like in grand in scale and size. Like we've got like
oh, this one's pretty big.
no, but we are say at best our pedal boards are wolf class submarines or like destroyers. His is an aircraft carrier. You know, his is the USS Flag. I mean, it's just
you got to do it big.
yeah. He's a small person, so he's got to do big boards.
I have to compensate somehow.
When you wheeled that pedal board into my house, I was like, "What is this?" Because of that giant airline case.
Well, I can put like it's handy to have that big case because it's on rollers. I can put my mic stand, I can put my guitar stand, I can put all the power and cabling. Everything is all in there, and I just basically have to walk up to a show, pull it out, and drop it down. All my cables are labeled.
It looked like you were bringing in one of those the 8x10 speaker cabinets.
Daddy don't play when.
Yeah.
When my band rolls into a gig, we've all got our stuff in like road cases and stuff, and people are not expecting that, dude. It's like a real bit. It's like a touring band is rolling in, like because that's what we do. But yeah, we're talking about our pedal boards in constant flux. One of the original concepts for this episode, which we just decided to turn into a small segment of this episode, was the fact that me and Vince were going to write each other's musical origin stories with no real data to speak of. Or like just self-research data and just see kind of what we came up with and do stuff like that. So we will get on to that. But I want to talk to each one of you guys about the parts of your pedal boards that are in constant flux. And we'll talk about mine too, obviously. But let's say I know Brandon's. So let's start with you, Brandon. Talk about like what are the pieces of your pedal boards that is kind of constantly getting switched out? Do you have a section of your pedal board that is just kind of like you kind of like just kind of popping out and moving around and trying new stuff?
I mean, really, it's the whole board. When I start redoing them, like the whole thing comes apart, and then the whole thing goes back together.
Well, that's the one.
Because, yeah, it's so difficult to decide on one thing or another, and especially because, like, it'd be one thing if I was in a band still, then I'd probably have a set board, but I don't have a band right now, so it's constantly in flux with whatever I want to play at the time.
See that this is cool because I think we all have kind of different methods of doing this, and I know that other guitar players also have different methods of doing this. So Vince, tell Papa Lowell about your board.
A Big Daddy.
Oh yeah.
So my current board is more of like a permanent sort of thing. I just built it for my band because we have a set list, and it's all MIDI programmed and all ready to go. So
I'm bored already, Brandon. Okay.
Okay,
Continue.
so
I'm just
real quick. I do have a question.
yeah,
yes.
I need to see your board at some point because I haven't seen it.
I can show you.
Yeah, show us.
Yeah.
My board is not at my house yet, so.
1 sec. Let me grab it.
Oh, look at him with his little in-ear monitors. It's so little cute.
All right, I'm gonna pick mine up and show it to the camera real quick here while he grabs his. So this is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, but that's not in constant flux, dude. I've seen a lot of those show up on your pedal board. I don't think it's as in constant flux as you're letting on. There's some guy mainstays. There's some mainstays that are gonna probably be on there for a while.
Oh yeah, the pitchfork actually never changes. Always in spot number 1 for me, unless I have a tuner or a compressor.
It's a good spot for it. It's where I keep my whammy. Oh gosh, here he goes. Come on, use your belly. You got to lift with your legs. All right. Are you? See what I mean? Like it's an aircraft carrier.
It's a church board.
I know, dude. So is your band question? Is your band a worship band?
Far from it. No. And you know what? So when I was trying to get my hands on the Big Sky and Timeline, that's exactly what I was asking. Are you in a worship band? It's like,
dude,
exactly.
I like the Big Sky, dude. That's a cool ass pedal.
It's fantastic. But for me though, being that we have a set list and I do everything with MIDI, having the LCDs on there is helpful for me because I had the Empress ecosystem and reverb before, and they were great, but having the LCD for me was just a little bit of a better option.
I don't have a Big Sky currently. It's actually something I want to get my hands on. I do have a Eventide Space though. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
As far as being out there for reverbs, it's actually, if you just want like one of them gigantic digital, like multiple deep dive reverbs that you can spend like 17 hours just staring into trying to find a usable sound, that's the reverb that I've got. I won't be
on the H9 and it's great.
I just like crazy reverbs. I do like my leanings tend to be a little bit more old school. Same with like Brandon will attest to this. My delay preferences also tend to be a little bit more old school sounding.
I mean, I like lots of options and stuff, but at the same time, it's like I don't have enough time to go through them. And since I don't have a band, it's not like I can set it up and like just move on from there. So like even like the TC stuff, it's just there's too much options for me right now. I need a set and forget pedal that I can plug in. And that's why when I showed Lowell the Wonderland by K-Line, I was like, this thing is perfect. It does shimmer. It doesn't do shimmer. And it sounds good.
Your pedalboard is a wonderland.
I used to be that way too, though, with the set and forget. Like I used to have 4 delays on my board because I had wanted different delay sounds and I didn't want to have to touch anything. Now, for at least for the band, like having every option at my feet is great. But I'm also going to be building another board.
That pedal board is top notch. I mean, everything on there looks amazing, and all those pedals are great. It's just too much for me.
Yeah,
and I have a huge pedal board.
Yeah,
I feel like I live between you guys. I feel like I live between you guys with pedal boards. Like, obviously, like the Vince has like the multi-option board with all the crazy like presets and stuff, which is awesome. I'm not knocking it. It's different strokes for different folks. And then you tend to kind of lean more toward the like hit it and forget it. I think I tend to live. My board is almost half and half. There's half of the mainstays. There's things that just don't change for me. There's things I've been using since I was 12 years old. That's a Digitech Whammy, Big Muff, and Tube Screamer. I mean, I've just always had those. So if I don't have them, I feel kind of naked. Everything else for me, like a compressor too. I really like using a compressor on my board because it just gives me some tweak. I'm all about like how my tone attacks the front of the amp or attacks the speakers, and a compressor gives me a lot of control over that, just like the low end, low mid womp that comes off of the speakers, which to me is the most important part of what I'm doing. And so I think I live between you guys, so like where I have some stuff that's kind of crazy and out there, and I have a board that's half and half, where it's half of mainstays that like just pretty much stay there always, and then it's half stuff that I just swap out all the time. But I used to be a less is more guy. I used to be one of those tone purist dudes that was like, pedals, how I plug right into my amp and use my hands. There's those guys.
Hands, man.
Tones in the hands. Tell that to the Edge. All right. You know what I mean?
I mean, rightly so. If you don't have tone in your hands, it doesn't matter how much gear or how good the gear is. I think the tone is in the hands.
Tell that to the Edge.
The tone is in the hands. The flavor is in everything else.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, no, I would kind of
All
agree,
right. Yeah.
sort of, I guess. I
never heard of it that way before.
There's different strokes for different folks, though. I mean, like some things are going to work for some others. I'm not a purist by any means. It's like, this is the way, all other ways are bullshit. And like, I see a lot of that. I mean, we're all in guitar groups. You see that, like, oh yeah, tones in the fingers. Like just today, like there's any guitar player would be better than Jimi Hendrix. You know, like which.
But you do have those people that they're not very good and they use pedals to cover up that incompetency.
Yeah, that's me. I mean, that's where I'm at. I mean, that was the first thing that brought me to pedals, was like, oh, I can cover some stuff up. Oh, I'll just use the grunge pedal.
You're right. It'll make me sound less
that's
bad.
what it is. That's what it is. And it's okay. I admit it. The tone is not in my hands. That's why I'm not a famous guitarist.
Are we in all the same boat?
I skirted fame for a little bit. Like I came close.
I'm working on it.
I tried.
It's to me, it's not what matters. You know, like I've got enough notoriety to be happy. I've got enough gear to maintain. I've got, you know, to just maintain my sense of self-worth. You know, so.
Yeah.
But no, there's different. Like there's just different strokes for different folks. And like, if you want, like anybody listening, if you look at us three, we're all three very different guitar players. We are also three very different gear nerds, but the thing that really unifies us is our love of guitar effects. I mean, like I love them because I look at them not only as tools, but sound toys. They're not just tools, but they're toys. And some pedals, like the reason I like the Eventide Space or the Strymon Big Sky or like the Andromeda, the Seymour Duncan Andromeda delay, which I have one of those that's super cool, is that's a toy. It's a tool that you can use, but I get a lot of enjoyment just dicking around with it, like hours and hours of enjoyment just diving in. With like, I love to search for tone with no purpose behind it, like where I'm not just like, oh, I need this sound, I have to go do this thing. You know, for me, it's like sometimes it's just fun to dick around with the pedal. And that's the reason I have the change out part of my board that I don't necessarily always use for gigs. I have a bunch of little boards and little like crazy stuff, but I have the one main one that I use most of the time. But I always wanted to be able to like have a section like swap out, and I do.
And there is a misconception with, you know, having your board professionally built, you know, like we did with your board is, oh yeah, once you build a board like that, you can't swap anything out. There's no moving things around, which isn't true. Cause you know, like you said, you have an entire section on your board, you can swap stuff out. And I mean, being that we are all very much guitarists whose pedal boards are constantly in flux and changing, like that sort of thing is still possible.
No, for real. And I love like the fact that you use the what is it? The double stick Velcro, or like the double latch, double dual lock sticky apparatus I don't want to get a cease and desist.
Let's talk about that for a minute. That
Yeah.
stuff is so hard to separate the pedal from the board for me.
Yeah.
It's just it's perfect.
Useful though.
It's
I
a
like-
jerking
I like-
motion. It's a jerk motion. Like, you know, if you grab it just right on the top and you just give it a light jerk, it'll actually come off. Like, and like,
I've actually heard use a spatula.
yeah, spatula works too. I just kind
I
of
use an upholstery crowbar. I don't know
Yeah,
what it's called.
it'll come off. And like the thing is I love the fact that it's not like normal hook and latch sticky pedal devicey tape stuff. It is it comes off, and then like if I put it on another pedal, it's almost like a Lego set where you're just like Legoing your pedals back on your board. Which is awesome because then you don't have to like constantly replace the double latchy, sticky, tapey, sticky stuff for pedals. You can just like, you can, just interchange them like Legos. That's awesome. Like that, like you combine two of my love for pedals and Legos, and they like put them together. And now I have this thing. In fact, I had an idea that I kind of talked to Brandon about a pedal that I wanted to build, but I didn't know if it would work. So I asked him if like, is this a conceivable thing? I wanted to build a multi effect like of pedals that latch together in a fun way, and I wanted to call it the Megazord.
They're actually. Have you heard of puzzle effects?
Yeah, but not a puzzle, a Megazord, not a puzzle.
So
Puzzles are for nerds. Megazords are for people that matter.
Swift, there's a company called Swift Pedals, and they actually make a pedal board where all the connections are on the bottom of the pedal, and you can just move them like Lego blocks.
That sounds awesome.
Never heard of 'em.
Legos,
Except for you can only use them with their pedals.
Yeah, of course.
of course. It's like Apple products. It's like Apple products.
See, the issue I've always had with the hook and loop fasteners, as we
That's a good way to say it, other than hook
That's
and
what we
latch,
call 'em in the
sticky,
military,
tapey,
is-
paid stuff.
yeah, hook and loop
Yeah,
fasteners.
hook and loop.
Did the military get a cease and desist?
They must have, because that's what we call it now. That's everybody refers to.
Wait,
that.
wait. I thought the military used actual Velcro.
No.
You can't say the V word.
No, you can say it as long as you're actually talking about Velcro, not
No,
hook
we
and loop.
don't use the actual brand. We use what we refer to as hook and loop fasteners, and I'm sure it's probably an
So
off-brand.
it must be NASA now.
That's ballsy.
yeah.
That's ballsy to give a cease and desist to the military.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have dogs, and I mean, you guys know how OCD I am. So my board was always covered in dog hair, and with the loop side of the fastener, my board was constantly covered, and drove me crazy.
My problem with it is things like Boss pedals and Behringer pedals and
With the rubber
anything
underneath.
with the rubber underneath, it will not stick. It
So you
just
have
slides right off.
to peel the Velcro excuse me,
feet.
the rubber off, or turn the base plate inside out.
Well, I mean, you can't do that with like the Digitech stuff. I mean, the base plate is,
Yeah, very yeah.
If
That's what I do
there's
with
a-
the Boss pedals.
If there's a will, there's a way.
not with those ones.
Dude, crazy glue will do just about anything you
Oh,
want.
yeah,
to.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah, if you want to super glue it to your board. Actually,
Fucking-
what I started doing was using the little bike things.
I was gonna
and
say the
screwing
bike
them down.
chain method. Yeah, that seems to be
Yeah.
a popular one now.
Zip ties are popular too. I've seen them a lot.
That drives me crazy.
I like
It
the
looks
zip.
Stupid.
I like the
Me
zip
too.
ties better than the bike chain.
I like the double latch fasteners. Like it's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, but you still have to rip off the thing on like Boss pedals and stuff.
I don't really use any Boss pedals on my board. Problem solved. I use a Boss pedal on one of my boards. I'm not saying that I don't like Boss. I do. I just don't use them very often because I have there's so many other fish in the sea.
I think
And
every board I've had a Boss pedal on every iteration.
I've only got one. It's my crazy whacked out fun jam board where I have the super awesome fun pedal experiences on that one. That's one of Brandon's. I've got the plasma drive on that one. That's the Game Changer Audio plasma drive. That's a fun ass pedal. The SY1 synth pedal. It's just a fun board for just crazy times, like a crazy
Oh.
fun time board.
I will say that the Boss sticks better than the Behringer or the Digitech stuff, just because for some reason I think there must be some sort of like chemical in the rubber on those two, and it just turns the glue stuff into like liquid.
Oh, dude,
Military grade rubber.
there's also the Astral Destiny, the Earthquaker Devices Astral Destinies.
Oh yeah.
Crazy fun times board, and that's a fun pedal. That's a super fun pedal.
I just made a crazy fun board actually while we're talking about pedal boards that we just finished making.
Yeah,
and it actually has both the Digitech or the Behringer and the Boss pedal on it.
nice.
And this thing, the new one, that one's super fun.
No, that's cool. I love the Astral Destiny a lot, but for me, I guess Earthquaker Devices is an unrequited love. It's a one-sided love. Like I
It
love
is a
them.
great pedal from what I've heard of it. I guess from your perspective though, is it actually something that's practical? That can you
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. Yeah. I use it all the time. It's the same reason I kind of like the Afterneath. It's like an Afterneath, but with like more steps. It's-
shimmer and stuff behind it.
yeah. And a lot of people complain like shimmer and this new age kind of like
it's a sub
hipster thing.
shimmer, right?
There, it has that feature as well.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool mercurial kind of effect. I dig it. I mean, but I dig most of their stuff. They kind of walk the line between guitar pedals and synth stuff, which is great because I have a lot of synths and I actually use a lot of Quaker stuff to run my synths through, which is great as well. Also, the big complicated reverb like machines and stuff sound really good with synthesizers for sure. So I'm gonna take a quick interruption to bring you the origin story of the Pedalboard crew. Today we will do the story of Vince DeGioia and the story of Lowell-George Knoth. Very soon we will do the epic epoch of Brandon Schock of Shock Rock Effects. We're not going to leave you out, buddy. We're going to do one. We're going to do you up hard. But
Yeah, I'll let both of you do mine. Like you guys can take turns or get together and
I would love to take turns.
figure it out.
yeah, we could take turns. We could just yeah, and just like not. But we could,
Back and forth.
yeah, but the thing is we're gonna give each other no direction, just like we did
Yeah.
with this. Me and Vince gave each other no direction. So without further ado, let's kick it off with Vince DeGioia giving us the origin story of Lowell-George Knoth.
Alrighty. Ready?
I'm ready.
So it's sort of a life story sort of thing, but it's really more about your musical.
Did Brandon
history.
just leave?
Fuck this shit.
Get out of here then. Fine. All right, go for it.
All right. A young, misguided Lowell-George, raised in the backwoods of Alaska. His bedroom walls covered in Bon Jovi, Duran Duran, and Wham posters.
That's far off.
He spent most of his time listening to Wake Me Up Before You Go Go on repeat in his bedroom, guitar strung across him as he danced around his room playing along with the track, living a fantasy of being the world's greatest and flashiest pop guitarist. Fast forward to high school, in an attempt to fit in, he reinvented himself with longer hair, black bangs across his forehead, eyeliner, and black nail polish, with its
Not far off.
onto his knees.
You're way on the mark, buddy.
Oh, I know. He played nothing but power chords in his high school Green Day cover band. Lowell-George decided that he was meant to be a punk rock star and strive to do just that. After deciding to move to Washington, Lowell-George spent the next few years frequenting various bars and clubs, spreading his dope punk rock tones with anyone who'd listen. Most just tolerated his overly saturated Line 6 Spider Amp being fed a Lost Metal Zone DoD grunge, which were always on for some reason, and a slightly out-of-tune Schecter.
Did you use the word dope?
Yeah, he did. He totally used the word dope. Continue. This is awesome.
As luck would have it, a Warner Bros. Rep happened to be having a drink at the Barrel Room while Lowell's band, the Ladyfingers, was played through a mediocre version of Smells Like Teen Spirit. Being that about 6 double shots of whiskey deep, the rep was in awe at the raw talent of the Ladyfingers and desperately wanted to sign them to a record deal.
I'm gonna make that a real band name, just FYI. That's actually pretty good.
Dude, ladyfingers are super tasty when you put them in tiramisu.
It was the first thing that came to mind. I rolled with it.
Go, continue.
So after approaching the band, Lowell took it upon himself to accept the deal on behalf of the band, despite being forced to give up rights to their music after release. Lowell wasn't the smartest, but he sure had a lot of heart and a passion for music. After a 15-year-long career as a stereotypical rock star, fueled by cocaine, Red Bull, and penicillin, one bad PR stunt after another sent him to rock bottom. After having belligerently yelled at a fan for holding up a sign reading, "Show me your tits, LG," at a show in Milwaukee, the seemingly loyal fans of the Ladyfingers turned on them. Record sales plummeted, audience numbers took a dive, and even Lowell's wife, operatic superstar Susan Boyle, grew tired of his nonsense, leading to their inevitable divorce. Today, Lowell-George walks the cold, rainy streets of Vancouver, Washington, offering to play his busted, out-of-tune acoustic for passersby in exchange for booze money. However, TMZ has reportedly witnessed Lowell-George providing an unknown male with oral sex in an alleyway in downtown Vancouver. This is a tragic case of flying too close to the sun. The end.
Dude, that's amazing. Sick burn, bro.
I had a lot of fun with this one.
Okay.
And that's why you're on this show.
That was good. All right. And now the tale of Vince DeGioia. The year was 2275. As ordered by the god Emperor Frusciante, man finally created the ultimate prosciutto. When suddenly a careless mad scientist dropped the genetically engineered prosciutto into a vat of spray-on suntan lotion, human growth hormone, and radioactive waste, and a zesty marinara sauce with an unexpected, delightful hint of cilantro, Vince DeGioia emerged into existence with chiseled features, abs, and body hair. Trained by the dark Frusciante zealots of the dystopian future world, where the song that could be played was scar tissue, and the only tuning that could be used was the scar tissue tuning. But one fated day, there was a disturbance in the timeline, and the evil Navarro-oids had sent their shirtless, tattooed automatons back in time to destroy the god Emperor Frusciante before his rise to power, and create a future heroin shortage and destroy God Emperor John Frusciante, and begin a dark future where the only song that could be played would be Aeroplane. To thwart the aeroplane apocalypse, the prosciutto spray tan based Vince DeGioia was sent back in time to save the future, the present, and heroin. So yeah, that's.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I know exactly what Vince should say to that.
Well, at least I didn't say that he was like, wandering the streets of Vancouver, filleting random walkers by. Like,
No, instead you said he had a fully fueled Navarro.
That's fucking fantastic.
It's the Navarro-oids of the future.
Yeah.
Navarro.
That want you to overthrow the god Emperor Frusciante.
I just imagine them all, full eyeliner with hoods on.
Yep.
And no shirts. I did say tattooed shirtless automatons. So
Yeah.
because Aeroplane is the worst. I mean, I like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but Aeroplane is the worst.
No, that album wasn't their best, and Frusciante actually
You know what?
refuses to
I
listen
like
to
that
or play
album.
any songs off that album because of it.
I like that album.
As he
I
should.
just do.
It
There's
was not my
some
favorite album. There's like
guitar-
2 tracks
there's-
on there that I like.
Yeah, but not as like a whole. But like, as far as the tones go on that album, like everything sounded like pretty good.
It was just a huge step away for them.
My name is Lowell-George Granoth of the Pedalboard podcast, where jaded gear junkies jones for the next fix. As an internet provocateur, philanthropist, gonzo journalist, and amateur podiatrist, I am always searching for a podcast that tickles my fancy in just the right way. Are you searching for that too? So take a moment from your day drinking and join us. Listening to the Pedalboard podcast side effects include but are not limited to unmitigated joy, retail therapy, shortness of breath, mumps, binge spending, losing your shoes, rumbly tummy, divorce, flight ability, limp lip, horse sprinting, questionable decision making, sports, club foot, club soda, hearing voices, crushing debt, spine manipulation, irritable bowels, playful secrets, dangling, reverse dangling, danger dangling, and brain powers. If you experience any of these symptoms while consuming the Pedalboard podcast, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Weirdly enough, Vince, you were not that far off. Like, there was
some truth to some of that.
There's a couple details that were dead on. Like, I did play a Gibson Flying V slung around my knees. I did have eyeliner and black fingernails. The ladies loved me.
Which one of us didn't?
Vince.
How can you tell?
Vince, you can't be in our club.
Our guy liner and fingernails club.
You had the metal zone and the grunge.
I actually did use the metal zone in a punk rock band. It sounded pretty okay.
That spider amp though?
No, I never owned a spider amp. I had one at the music store they gave me. I used it as a doorstop for a while.
I did have a spider amp for a long time. I'd never played it live though.
You know what? I'll say one thing about spider amps for sure. Like, I'd stand on one of those any day. Like, I used to use it to stand. Oh, dude, I love flying V's. I do love flying V's a lot.
That was my touring guitar for a long time.
Yeah, I played that Gibson Flying V into the ground. I am actually in the middle of trying to procure another one. I have an Explorer currently, but I want another Flying V because it was my jam. But I did play in a punk rock band, but it was not a Green Day punk rock band. It was a Misfits punk rock band. It was like a tribute band called Death Comes Ripping.
So I wasn't that far off with all this, and I had
you were seriously close on some of them, and there was a change. Whereas, like, I grew my hair out. I did not have bangs, but I did grow my hair out. I did like Wham when I was a kid. Weirdly enough, like I liked like my mom listened to like Bon Jovi and Wham and a bunch of like Duran Duran. Like I heard that stuff all the time. I actually liked it.
I still listen to that stuff. I have a very eclectic taste.
I have a pop sensibility to all my music for sure because I grew up on pop and I like pop. No, dude, actually, other than my meteoric rise and fall from power and the marriage to an opera singer that fell apart, and the destitute wandering the streets of Vancouver, filleting whoever may walk by for booze money.
Well, you're saying
there was a time.
Story part.
There was a time. Like, it wasn't always like success, you know. Like you take the good with the bad.
Or the internet fandom.
Internet fandom. There you go. No, that was awesome. I just kind of made yours like a Dooney Terminator thing.
I was trying to go like full, like you had this decent rise up and then just fucking
crashed. You did like the behind the music of me.
Yeah.
Where I did like the like, you know, the fact that you're not a human being. You're just a prosciutto that was dropped into a vat of spray tan. And
now I can't wait to see the back and forth for mine.
Yeah.
Like, you guys should do do 4 parts each and like back
just
and
mix
forth.
them, just mix and match. No, that would be.
You're not totally wrong. I am mainly comprised of prosciutto and marinara sauce. So.
Oh, but with a delightful, zesty taste of cilantro.
Maybe some mozzarella.
Cilantro is my jam. I love it. Like I dry my own cilantro
and everything.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, I dry my own. So I like to dry my own cilantro, and like, you know, I have like my own container I make, and then I sprinkle on.
Yeah. Funny enough, I just did that last week.
Yeah, just throw in the oven some foil, and bing bang boom, you're ready to rumble. Is there anything, like, I have a question for you guys. Is there any particular pedal you're jonesing to put on your main board that you just don't have it yet? And you're just jonesing to smack it down on there. Like, we're talking like a wish list pedal. I know I've got one. Mine is really, really out there and is probably never going to happen, but I can dream. Mine is, I want a big cheese, a love pedal, big cheese.
Yep.
There's just I'm never going to find one of those. I mean, if I did, it would be pure luck. It would be pure luck.
You want a real one, not a
or the
clone.
cheese ball.
Yeah, the
Have you
cheese
tried that?
ball.
Have you
Yeah.
tried that one?
I have. I love it. I just got a thing for vintage pedals, dude.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Like I want an old
Oh, my-
memory man too, but that can happen. An old memory man deluxe. That is totally doable though. Like it's not even that
I
expensive.
mean, you're gonna pay for it for sure, but
Yeah, it's not that bad. Not in the realm of. It's like 400
So-
bucks.
So for me, like I have a lot of pedals, and
Join the
I
club.
think, yeah, I think the one for me
I
that
already
don't
did.
have that I kind of want is the SY1.
that was gonna be my answer too.
Oh, it's
Oh, yeah.
delightful. It's a delightful pedal. I'm doing a video on it for PBOD. I've been working on it a long time because I wanted to be like the boss video. Get it, get it, get it. No, like I wanted to be
So-
super good. So I'm like pulling out all the stops. I'm trying to make like the best tracks I can for it. Use a lot of times when I do tracks for demo videos, they have a kind of a thrown together kind of feel. This I want to be very polished. It's gonna be my love note to John Carpenter
So
and Yoshi
let-
Akimoto, dude.
I'll let Vince have that one. The other one that I've been craving is the Pink Lucky Cat by JHS.
Yeah.
That's another one I've just kind of, I'm like, it's on my list, and like, I don't know,
The Lucky Cat or the Pink
so
Panther?
many. The Lucky Cat.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be nice to have a Pink Panther, but I really dig the Lucky Cat.
Okay. No, it's not a bad delay at all.
Yeah,
I've got a black one in a box somewhere.
Oh, the black.
yeah, I really want the pink one. I mean, the black one's cool and all, but
I just got a deal on the
Pink.
black one, and I was just like, oh, see, I got a super deal on it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sell well, as Josh's video let us know. It's
yeah,
funny, like a lot of the
pink
video.
one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting one of his. What is it? The cheese ball that he did.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about picking up one of those at some point.
I
I mean,
really
that
want
Paul
a
Gilbert pedal too.
Oh, the PG.
14.
Yeah, the PG-14.
Yeah,
I really want to get my hands on a Strymon Deco. That thing is just kind of like a, I don't know. It's slept on, I think.
worship man.
Fuck off. It's for me. It's more of like a studio tool, just to kind of get that lo-fi vinyl sort of.
No,
thing.
you're not wrong. I mean, yeah, they're great. Wait. The Chase Bliss Generation Lost. Sorry, that's the one.
Mm.
I thought that was
Never-
I thought the Generation Loss was Cooper.
They did a
It is, but
collaboration like a
Chase
year or
Bliss
two ago.
did a collaboration. They're like $1,700.
Oh, okay, I get it now. You guys are a little bit
Yeah,
more.
the scalpers. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
getting.
yeah.
I loaned my. I have a Space Echo, like an RE201, in like dead mint condition. I loaned it to a friend who really wanted to buy it, and he was like kind of like ducking me, trying to get it back. But I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. He wants to buy it really bad. And he was using it on studio stuff, but I'm like, I want my toy back, bro. I'm not selling it. It's super clean. It's the cleanest one I've ever seen. I bought it from a college. It was in the back room, never been used. I mean,
That's why it was clean.
the tags are brand new.
Yeah.
You know, like like everything is pristine. It's perfect. It's as good as the day it walked off the line. You know, so it's just like,
You can't get rid of that.
no,
You know
I'm
what?
not going
saw-
to.
I saw one like that, the Roland Space Echo, at a Guitar Center in the glass case, and I so wish I'd bought it because it was only like $499, and it was mint.
That's what I paid for mine. I paid $500
Yeah.
for it. Yeah, like
It was mint, and this was years ago though. But like, if I had known at the time what I know now, you know, like the song.
well, yeah, me too. I mean, I've sold off a fortune in gear for pennies. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like-
Don't get me started on that. That Antigua baritone guitar. Oh,
Yeah, that
just
Squire.
a week later, they jumped like $1,000, and I sold it for like $150.
No, I know how
Really?
that goes. We'll have to do a podcast on the lost loves of our gear life.
No, I don't want to be part of that.
Well, then don't. No, and don't. We'll do it. We'll do the heavy lifting, Brandon.
that one.
I'll
You're
bring
gonna
the
make me
Kleenex and
cry.
whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't got enough.
No, it's I just love gear, and I love that old kind of tanky gear, but I like to use the Roland Space Echo has 1,000 very awesome studio uses, especially for vocals. Like, because when they made that Space Echo, it wasn't just intended to be a guitar effect. It was also intended to built to be a vocal effect. That's the reason.
So sorry, just to interrupt you for a second. Last week or 2 weeks ago, you did a mouth breather
Yeah.
for your sound toy of the week. So in the bottom mode on that switch, use that for vocals, for delay vocals. That's what that's intended for.
Yeah, I actually started working on a video for the mouth breather too. It's gonna be good. That was a good one.
So yeah, with the massive tone section in the delay loop on that, that's exactly what I designed that for, was to do like that vocal delay that they do in Pink Floyd's Dogs.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
Thank you for interrupting my diatribe with a shameless self-promotion. I appreciate that. No, it's cool. The mouth breather is cool. The mouth, just to cap that off, the mouth breather is stupid sick. And I have had I've actually sat down with that pedal a lot over the past week and just dicked with it. Because there's
Vince,
a lot of,
I'm gonna have to send one to Vince too.
you got to get Vince some shock rock effects, dude. Because I don't want to come off. I don't want to come off mind and send him some. The Space Echo has actually like a whole section dedicated to microphones. Like it's got a microphone preamp, it's got a guitar preamp, it's got all the reverb and delay. It's got actual spring reverb, tape delay, all in one unit. It's a magic device.
The Boss RE20 compare well to it?
No, not even close.
No.
Not even.
I mean, I figured obviously
they're not even in the same universe, dude. Like
I know the original is
like,
going to be way better, obviously, but I mean, as far as like Boss trying to,
it's like an actual tape echo versus anything that's trying to simulate a tape echo. Some things come close, but like they never quite manage the whole actual tape echo. But fair warning, tape echo comes with an epic amount of bullshit that you have to deal with to do. Yeah. I mean, there's tons of maintenance. There's like, replacement parts are hard to come by. I mean,
Vince, if you want to know anything about tape echoes, go buy one of those super cheap Vox ones and then use it for a week.
Then kill yourself.
Then you'll figure out, you'll see exactly what all comes with it. Because after a week of using one of those, you've already got to do maintenance on it.
I've seen it all, and I've heard all the horror stories, and I would love to own a tape echo, but fuck, am I not willing to do
My tape echo is for the studio only. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a studio tool. It never leaves like the safety or of the studio. I would never ever use it live. The only reason my buddy's using it is because it's in his. The only reason my buddy I let him borrow is A, because he's a good friend. B, he's professional. Like he's worked in studios just like me, like real deal studios, and it's at his studio. Like it's like that's the only reason I would even consider loaning it to him, because it's like.
I mean, just taking it in the car.
No, yeah, and even then, like when I brought it to him, I put it in a box with styrofoam. Like I put it in a box so that even if it shook, it would have like cushion. No matter what happened, it would be cushioned and the movements would be lessened. Because I do the same thing.
Tape echo, the not the copycat, the oil can delays. I have always wanted one of those. But there's no way it would probably not even work when I got it.
Hang on.
Vince, have you ever played an oil can delay?
I have not.
I have.
Yeah.
If you guys want like a really kick-ass, like the closest I've heard to like being a very good rendition of a tape echo, is this guy, and I love this pedal so much.
That the rep.
See, I couldn't get into mine.
I love it. I've used this thing when I need to go to when I was doing like the surf and rockabilly gigs. This was the delay I used.
I think mine had an issue. So.
Yeah, because this thing is like I'll bring this over to you sometime and let you try it, because Yeah, yours must have like it's a Dan Electro pedal, so they're prone to damage and stuff. And I had to have this thing repaired a few times. Because when I do like gigs, this is what I would take because now these are expensive. I mean, like these have jumped in price some,
$200-$300 now.
but they are worth every penny. I love the warble setting and then like the lo-fi, so you can do like a solid state kind of simulation tube simulation. It's
Yeah, I never thought it was bad, but there was a popping sound in the background of mine, like every like third repeat, it would have like this weird noise in the background that just, not like something that was not musical, not supposed to be there.
no, that's for real. So let us do the venerable sound toy of the week.
Paddle time, do 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 do. Paddle time, brought from me to you.
Who wants to go first? Not me.
I'll go first.
Yay.
I actually brought 2 sound toys this week because I could not decide which one of these I want to be my sound toy of the week.
That's a common problem for you.
It is. And it's probably going to be a reoccurring problem.
That's fine. There's worse problems to have.
It's a Garland Effects
What
green
is,
candle.
okay.
It's
That
a ring mod. I mean, it's a green ringer, but it's got this little switch where you can turn the actual like ring mod off and on. So it's super simple, no knobs, just on off. It's beautiful. It's like, I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but it's like sparkly.
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's got this black hole, which is super cool. That's like hand etched in there.
Ooh la la.
And it's just the pedal is just beautiful. And it is the best green ringer I've ever played. Like I've built them before, and this one just sounds like spot on, just perfect.
Never been a huge ring mod fan. I feel like it has
You know-
really specific applications.
Maybe I'll send you a ring mod instead of a mouth breather.
Send him a mouth breather. Send him a mouth breather. It would be so up his alley. It would be ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what Vince
Probably have more
likes.
fun with it.
Yeah, dude.
I think with the Frusciante stuff, I think that might be the choice.
I mean, I like the wacky out there shit too. Like anything that doesn't make a guitar sound like a guitar, I'm interested.
Well, I
in.
mean, it's a green ringer, so you got to think it's like that Hendrixy type
Yeah.
octave sound. It's something you go before fuzz and just play it into it and just jam out on it. This one sounds amazing. It's just personally, it sounds amazing. Well, this might be a little more up Vince's alley. My second sound toy of the week.
Yes.
Yeah, we saw
Yes.
that on the social media.
Yeah, I couldn't not. The JHS spring tank.
No, I've always
And-
wanted one of those. I've played with it a little bit when I worked at the guitar store, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like thinking to myself, I was like, man, I'm not sure if I like it or not. And then I plugged a chorus into the loop, and it sold me instantly.
Yeah, dude. When I was shopping for reverbs for my EVH, because I just have a reverb Velcro to the back of the amp in the effects loop. That was one of the ones I tried out for that, and it almost won out. It just, for some reason, given the nature of the EVH that I have, the afterneath, or not the afterneath, but the Ghost Echo just sounded a little bit better in my amp. Not saying it's a
Yeah,
better
for me-
pedal. It just in
No,
that
for me,
particular
I-
amp, it sounded better. So I got that one
used,
instead.
I use a TC Hall of Fame in the loop for my always on reverb sound. Just
I'm probably going to do
barely
the same
on
thing
at
with
all.
the Ghost Echo. Throw it in the loop to set for an always on reverb.
Yeah, but we got to remember too, we favor both me and Vince both favor kind of Marshall style amps. So like
yeah, that's true.
for us, it's just like standalone. I felt like the spring tank was actually like a better sounding pedal. It's just in the effects loop of my very Marshall sounding EVH. It's just the Ghost Echo won out. I mean, it's just like, okay, well, this is cool. And plus it was a lot simpler too, which helps when you not when the pedals, Velcro to the back of the amp.
Hook and loop fastened.
As far as I know, actually, the actual reverb inside this and that are, I think, the same.
Probably pretty similar, yeah.
They're very similar. I know that the Ghost Echo has a delay line in it, and this sounds like it has a delay line in it as well. So
yeah, it does for a little bit. My sound toy of the week is the one I've been messing with for the last 2 weeks is the Surfy Industries Surfy Trem. It is basically the black face and brown face. Can we say that anymore? Even in reference to like the blackface Fender amps, I feel weird. It's got brown face like style Fenders, like like 61 to 62, 63, and then like the blackface from like 63 to like 60 ish, 67. I think if you want to do Fender ones, then it was like only a couple of years. But if you guys have noticed, like brown face or like even like silver face Fender amps, the trim on them is a little murkier. Like the chops aren't as like hard, so it's like a slower drift. Like
a sine wave.
The sine wave is more rounded. The sine wave is way more rounded. And then if you switch to blackface, it's obviously like it's a lot more articulated. This thing nails it. Just nails the tremolo out of like old school Fender amps. And it's cool to have them both, just like if it's a flip of a switch. I would say like my favorite trim, the trim on my board, is by a company that was very short-lived called Monster Effects. I have both of the pedals that they produced. I have the Master Distortion, which was the Mastodon distortion pedal that they made. But they made a trim called the Swamp Thing, which was basically
I
think
the brown face. It was a very brown face trim. And I listened, like one of my favorite bands, like to listen to just like when I'm doing stuff, or just that I really always kind of tried to capture the vibe of a little bit, was Creedence Clearwater Revival. And I love the swampy kind of vibe that they always got. They always had a good vibe. Like they were a vibe band for sure. They weren't the best singers. They weren't the best players at the time, but they like had the sauce. You know what I mean? They had way more sauce than most of the guys. It was like a thickness, a heaviness, kind of like a swampiness. And me, having like, Creole family and stuff, and growing up with like a bunch of New Orleans jazz and music and stuff like that, and voodoo and stuff all around, it appealed to me. And I still love Creedence Clearwater Revival. And then like, you got to have a little bit of trim.
Call it what it is.
Yeah.
Call it what it is. It's Zydeco.
Yeah, pretty much. This is Zydeco and a pedal. I mean, if you want to go chop, 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 and because if you want to play proper, that kind of proper Cajun swamp ass blues, you got to like have some trim, a little bit of trim going. And if it's not articulated trim, you're using like the brown face trim, it becomes more of a background effect and not so much in the forefront. And it just adds vibe instead of actually like, really mucking up stuff.
I've always been a fan of square trims.
Yeah, square trims are great too.
And harmonic trims.
But Surfy Industries, seriously, dude, their reverb tanks are ridiculous. These guys
really
are
want to try the reverb tank.
I've tried it. I actually met these guys at a pedal expo. Yeah. I tried the tank there. Of course, it was through headphones. I want to put one
on top of my amp head. I want like an amp head spring tank. I mean,
behind that box, behind that Home Depot box right there, is a 63 Fender reverb tank outboard.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get one of those. I want to try the Surfy Bear one.
It's I've tried. From what I have been able to tell and derive, they're very similar, like in sound, like very similar in sound.
Yeah. I'm just, every time I have an amp, I always like, if it comes with a spring tank, there's always some sort of issue with the amp because of the spring tank in the amp. So I want one that's separate.
Right on.
I'm trying to get Surfy Bear to come on as a guest. We'll see if we can get them to talk about their tanks and whatnot.
Yeah.
I tried to get him to hook me up with the tank. It was no fly zone. I would love to talk to them. So Ted is cool. I'll reach out to Ted again today. I got an email from him today. and I will be like, hey, my boy Vince, because he's probably the one you talk to.
Parts.
Yeah.
I'll build them.
Yeah, we could probably do that. Vince, you probably talk to Ted. I will reach out to Ted.
Probably.
I will reach out to Ted and be like, hey, my boy Vince hit you up. Come on our podcast. You should totally do it. Or don't, whatever. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Ted. Yeah.
Back onto the pathway.
Yeah, Vince. What is your sound?
Good?
I'm good.
What is your?
What's your sound toy of the week, brother?
Kind of foreshadowing a bit. The Westminster Effects E89. It's a dual overdrive. They have the 1689 overdrive, which is a Tube Screamer and Klon in one, and the other side is an Edwards overdrive, which is the a Bluesbreaker style. So I'm working on a demo for this right now, and the bluesy tones you can get out of this thing is phenomenal. It's very Mayer-esque. I'm very happy with this one right now.
Would you say the body is a wonderland?
It is. I would.
I think Vince may have paused us out.
I think I broke Lowell.
No, you didn't. I was messing with you. I figure if I sit very still, no one could see me.
I still have yet to try any of the blues pedals. Like talking about the Blues Breaker, all of them.
Blues Breakers are amazing, dude. Blues Breakers are worth the hype for real.
This thing does it really well too.
I've always wanted to try it, and I've never tried any of those. The Boss, the Marshall, none of them.
Get you a Snouse black box. It's probably the most authentic recreation of the
What'd you
original
call
Blues
me?
Breaker.
What do you mean, you people? No, it's good. I like I did a Two Police kind of like a garage blues rock band for like 10 years, and I experimented with a lot of pedals to some of that tone. My primary guitars in that band were a Silvertone 1448 and a K arch top. Like
first guitar I ever owned was a K guitar. It was like a little children's acoustic guitar.
I think it's like a Pincraft. I can't remember what the actual designation of it was, but I still have them. But they were rude guitars, and I'd run those through a 15-watt Pro Junior with like a big muff or a Tube Screamer or a Rat. I used a Rat for a while. I did have a Blues Breaker back in the day that I used for a little bit. It got stolen, which sucks. I also had a Green Russian Big Muff get stolen. A Digitech Whammy 1 gets stolen. Just been playing shows like in the gut buckety places I was playing. It just happens.
So I've played Rat clones before, but I've never played a real Rat. It's just,
honestly,
just something I've never done.
Yeah.
And I tried to play one once. The music store I went to, they had a couple of them in a case. And then
why were they in a case?
So I found out the owner had modded every single one of them. So they all did like these weird synthy things, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" And I was like, "I don't like this pedal," so I never tried another one after that. So I've never tried an actual Proco Rat pedal.
I can accommodate you.
I have the 1981 DRV, and I mean it's a great pedal, but I mean it's a clone. So I've never
my favorite one is the 2. Actually, is the not the first incarnation. I do have a big box.
The Brat.
No, the 2. I want a Brat really bad. I'm looking for one. If you guys see a good price on one, and I'm talking like $120. That's about as much as I want to pay for one of those. If you guys see something around there, or someone listening has one that was selling for $120, please reach out to me and I will buy it from you. The Brat is another one on my list, which is, I mean, sometimes you just want something for the aesthetics or the fact that it's got some kind of weird meaning to you. It's not like, I notice sometimes my pedal purchases tend to be running around that kind of thing, where it's like, it just looks cool and I want it.
Yeah.
Or it's a variation of something that I like.
I'm big on aesthetics, so if it looks cool, I want it.
Oh, we share that. We definitely share that, is that aesthetics are, I think we all share that, is that aesthetics are important as far as, especially in like branding yourself,
Yeah.
branding your music.
If it's an ugly pedal, I don't want it on my board. Like I'm that petty.
Unless it's really ugly. Like for me, if it's outlandishly ugly, I'm into it. But if it's just kind of quasi, yeah.
Well, so there were I don't want to name them, but there are certain pedal brands that their pedal art is very much out there. And
Yes.
I'm more of a traditionalist. Like I like a more toned down approach to pedals and the aesthetic. So
Well, Brandon's pedals are very there's a lot of care. No, you'd be surprised how much thought and care. I mean, sure he'll reiterate this, but there's how much thought and care goes into the aesthetic of that
the
pedal.
artwork is actually impressive, though. You can tell like it's actually well thought out. But there is.
Are you
other
talking about
companies.
my stuff, Vince?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about
In general, I mentioned
Okay.
I mentioned your stuff because it's like
yeah.
we were talking about
Oh,
how aesthetic is really important to us, and he likes more traditional looking pedals, why I tend to favor the more outlandish. And we were talking about your pedals being kind of outlandish, but there's a lot of thought
like a
and consideration. There's a lot of thought and consideration that goes into that. Like I've been there while you're dying over details about like what a pedal looks like. I've been sitting on the couch, like you're like, oh, what are we gonna call this one? Oh, what's the artwork gonna be like on this one? Oh, what are the knobs? What are the knobs gonna say? Yeah, like I've been there while you've been like agonizing over the details, which is.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's a compliment. That's a compliment that you actually take the time to just hodgepodge shit together. We've seen plenty of that come out in the last couple months, like a lot of pedal builders emerging into the scene. And you got to get your thing on, but it's I just don't see a lot of the thought or originality really, as prevalent. But of course, you flood any market. That's what happens. You know what I mean? Like you flood any market. There are some stuff that's coming out though that I've seen as shockingly original. Should you get it? Shockingly original. Anybody? Yeah.
We got it. We just chose to ignore you.
Okay. See the eyebrows? You know how hard that is to do? Appreciate me more. Damn it. But yeah, so pedalboards and constant flux, aesthetics, origin stories, and sound toys of the week. So to finish it off today, we're going to go through something that pissed your wife off. I can start. My wife we're moving currently, and she's getting a little cantankerous. So moving is pissing my wife off. It's not the thing that I've actually been trying to be as accommodating as I can. But she's getting cantankerous because we're like constantly working all the time. Someone else go.
I don't think I had anything crazy going on this week with my wife. It's just same old work pisses her off most of the time, but that's really
But you
about
didn't
it.
like show up with something. She's like, geez, Vince, again.
I mean, it's the same thing. I'm getting packages almost every day, that sort of thing, but she's kind of used to it now. So it's kind of worn down, but nothing crazy in the last week, thankfully.
Fantastic.
Okay. So for me, it's probably what we're doing right now.
What?
Get over it.
Just it ended up being a little more inconvenient than anticipated.
Okay, well, we will end your inconvenience, and this has been the Pedalboard podcast, where we discussed today our pedalboards and constant flux. Let us know in the comments and the socials and all the things what pedals you constantly move in and out of your board, and what pedals just gotta stay. So I have been Lowell-George Granath. That has been Vince DeJoya, and that has been Brandon Schock. Vince DeJoya runs Vagabond Audio, where he will build your board back better, baby. Go check him out at vagabondaudio.info. See details, brother.
I
And
bet
get
your
on
boy
it.
did.
Get your board did. And then, we got Brandon Schock of Shock Rock Effects downtown there. Check out his pedal reviews on the internet. Check him out on Instagram. And what is it? Shock Rock, at Shock Rock on Instagram. Get your pedal order on, dude. You better hurry because the man's filling up and he's a busy man. So, and when I
the
start,
book is full.
yeah, that book's full. When I start pedaling stuff, I'll let you guys know it's coming. I got some stuff in the book. Keep your eye out on our YouTube channel for all the crazy crap that's going to be dropping soon. We've kind of be dropping, by the time this is out, you will have seen little teasers of a show that we are currently in production on. So you're going to get that on. So get your board did, get your pedal on. Send me your sweet kisses. And as always, be fantastic always. And try not to lick a bag of suck. See you later.